And we're back with another episode. I'm your host, Stephen Rochester, and today we have a very special guest joining me. He's one of the top producing realtors in the GTA, and I'm just happy to have time to spend some time with him, chop it up, and get to see exactly how he operates on a professional level. So I want to thank Tristian Clunis for joining me today, bro.
Appreciate you for having me, man. Thank you for having me.
I know it's been some time. I wanted to get you last year, but I know your schedule has been super busy, man.
Bro, we were trying to make this work. We were trying to make this work, and when you mentioned it to me, I was excited to actually do it. But yes, our schedules kind of just didn't work out that way.
Timing is everything. And
but we're here now, bro. We're here now, man.
My God. I just wanted to sit down with you again. So, my platform, I like to spend time with people that are doing it at a very high level, right? And it's even better when someone looks like you from the same culture. You get to pick their brains, how do they navigate through these things as well? So our younger selves and the guys that are watching, guys and gals that are watching, maybe they can take something from this conversation that can maybe help them either invest or in their professional life or even in their family life, right? So you're one of those guys, you're huge on social media. Let's talk about that. Let's start there, right? Because if we haven't met you, but I'm sure people have seen you online. Why is that? Why do you use that as your way of marketing yourself?
You want to know what's funny? I actually don't. So people think that, like, I enjoy it. I actually don't care to do it, to be honest with you. Right. Like, that's the honest opinion. If I wasn't in real estate, or if I wasn't, in sales, like where I need to put myself out there, I wouldn't be on social like that. I would just be like you'll have your 1-2 posts, and that's about it. Like, I wouldn't be on it. But to be honest with you, I found that my personality, once I started to become to start showing my authentic self.
Right.
Before, when I was posting, everybody's saying, "Oh, you need to be online. You need to be on social media. You need to be posting your things," which is fair, which is true.
Right.
Definitely. And when I first started, I was doing it pretty much like everybody else. I wanted to be perfect. I didn't want to mess up. I wanted to just be this, and it wasn't me. So when I made the decision to be authentic, and I had a mentor that told me, like, you need to be yourself. You need to be you on social media. When I changed that, that's when it really started to really click, and people started to laugh, and I could show my humor. I could show that I'm funny, that I play a lot, but I could also show
right. And I want to unpack that because you said a couple of things, right? You said mentorship and feeling uncomfortable and kind of getting over those humps, right? So naturally, if you watch yourself on some social media, you would think that you love this because you are such a natural at what you do.
I appreciate that.
Right? What is it about being in front of the camera that made you kind of standoffish?
At first?
Yeah, at first.
Just in general, what are people gonna think?
Right.
Like you're judging. When you go on social media, you're putting yourself out there. When you go on camera, when you're facing the camera, you're putting yourself out there. So I'm always thinking, like, oh, what are these people gonna say? What if they're not, what if my jokes aren't funny? What if I'm coming across too humorous and not professional enough in real estate?
Right.
All that stuff, right? So all these things it was playing in my mind. I was constantly thinking, like, am I good enough on social media? Am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? And again, like, it's only when a mentor mentioned to me, like, look, you need to be yourself, and your people will work with you. So your people, you will attract the people that you want to attract, that are gonna like you.
You'll find your tribe.
Know you and trust you. You'll find your tribe, and it's crazy because when you think about it, there's billions of people on social media.
A lot of them.
You're going to find your handful of people that are going to like you and want to trust you and want to do business with you.
Yeah.
So once I figured that, I know I'm not for everybody. I'm only going to be for the ones that actually, that I cater to. So yeah, that's when the change happened.
So adopting that, thesis, you've jumped head first into this now, where your following is growing. You're making deals. You're connecting online. How is it working for you? How do you, whether you like it or not, how is it working for you?
It works, and I'm enjoying it now. I'm enjoying it. I'm realizing whatever you do, like, even if whether it's going to gym, whatever case it be, you may not like it at first, but after the reps, you get the reps in, it becomes easier. It definitely helps in business, because it's not necessarily, some people can sit here and say, oh, I get specific leads from social media. Yes, that happens, and I do get that. I definitely do get that. But the bigger thing is, when people see you, like, so for example, I have a client that wants to refer me. They could just send them my social media.
Right.
Tell their friend, hey, like, I have my realtor is on social, check him out. they're gonna go through all my videos.
Mhm.
They're gonna see what kind of personality I have in the whole nine,
Yeah.
and then they're gonna make a decision. So if they call me, I already know that they've almost already interviewed me.
Right. Right.
So now
it's kind of your business card now.
100%.
That is your presentation.
It's your
at this
resume,
point. Right.
right? It's your resume. This is me. This is what I do. This is the type of personality that
This is
I
how
am.
I carry myself.
100%.
This
So
is
it's
my
either,
personality.
so I know if you check my social media and we're still having conversations,
You like it,
bro,
or
you're not doing
Give
any.
me a chance.
It's so much smoother.
Yeah.
You're not having to sell in a presentation. You're now having a conversation with a friend.
Yeah.
You know, so that's where I see the biggest benefit of social media is being able to when somebody wants to refer you, or not even necessarily somebody wants to refer you. I have people that follow me that when they see me on road,
Yeah.
they think like it's like best friends, like we're
100%.
friends. They've been watching me.
Yeah.
And I treat it as such. I'm not gonna like shun them.
Right.
I know that they're watching me on social media and all that kind of stuff. So I'm very open to have conversations. So they feel like they can refer a friend.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, they don't really know me, but
Yeah.
in their mind, it's like I'm referring.
Well,
a
they
friend
connect.
to you.
We're
100
making connections, whether
100%.
someone's
And I'm-
on their phone.
And I'm open to it. So if I see somebody, if they're wanting to say hey or whatever case, yeah, I'll follow you on social. What's your name? Yo, let's talk. I'm trying to get their social and let me follow you. Like that's my personality.
Love it. Why real estate? You've done well for yourself at this point. Let's take it back a couple years. Why get into this chaos of a profession?
And it is chaos,
right?
Why real estate? So I'm in my 13th year.
Jeez, congrats, bro.
Thank you, I appreciate that, brother. Honestly, I do, because it's been a roller coaster to say the least in the business, but I think that's sales as a whole, and that's just how real estate has been. I was in insurance at the time, and I was doing.
Okay, so you're a sales guy.
I'm a sales guy.
Got it.
I've always been in sales. So before that, I was like working at like the Bay and selling dress shirts, believe it or not. But yes, I was in sales. I was working in insurance, and to be honest with you, my roommate and I, we were watching $1 Million Listing. And we're like, yo, we could do this. Why don't we sell on the highest level?
Right.
We could do this. We could.
Everybody could.
We could drive around in a Benz.
It only takes 30 minutes to get it done, right? Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly. It's easy. Look how easy they make it look. It's not the case. But anyways, I'll just give you a quick story of how that played out. I'm working in insurance. I was doing my testing, like your courses and all that throughout that time, and my whole
Oria at the time, I think it was.
Oria, yes.
Yeah.
And the thought process was, let me do real estate part-time and ease myself into it while working I was working at insurance, right? Dude, they told me, I got all my license out, they told me you can't have both licenses. You can't have your as a Rebo license that I had, which allow you to sell home and auto insurance.
Right.
You can't have that license and have your real estate license at the same time. So
that's so funny you say that, because I was having a conversation with one of my friends the other day as well, and same situation. He works for TD.
Yeah.
He's talking about, I need to make a little more money on the side. I need to figure something out. I'm like, yo, dude, why don't you get into sales? Like, you're kind of already in it. And he said, they're blocking me from getting my license. Why would they do that?
They call it a conflict of interest.
Okay.
But it gets better. So I literally decided, okay, you know what? I'm gonna get another job. I applied to CRA. Got the job at Canada Revenue. Took a year to get this job, like multiple interviews, testing in the whole nine. Finally got it. You know what? We got it. I'm gonna leave TD. I'll do Canada Revenue and real estate on the side. Left TD and like, deuces, now you're giving 2 weeks. I'm like, yo, I'm gone, bro. I'm out of here. This is at the top of the year, bro.
They don't love me.
This is at the top of the year. I'm out of here, bro. I got in the first week of orientation at CRA, and they said, if you are a real estate agent or a mortgage broker, you cannot do this job. And I've already left TD.
Right.
In the best fact, like
now you're floating.
Now, so I'm like, and I didn't have anything saved, right? Because the whole thought process was to go from TD over to CRA. Easy transition, Didn't have anything saved, so I had to make a decision. They gave me a week. It was a Monday, that orientation, when they mentioned it. They gave me till the end of the week to figure out whether I want to keep this job or whether I want to do real estate. And again, I had mentors in my life. They said, hey, can you always get a job? I'm like, yeah, I never had any issues getting a job. They're like, why not? I was married, we were 1 year in our marriage at the time, brother. And
difficult.
And they were like, what does your wife think? Is she cool with you muscling through it? I talked to her, she's like, look, I'm down. Let's do it. Let's figure it out. It's key. Brother, I left there with
now we'll
nothing
talk about
saved.
Family and all that.
Yeah,
sure, because that is huge.
It's crucial.
Right.
No, 100%.
You can't make big moves.
The person has to be on the same page as you. So I left there and I had nothing saved up, brother, and it was rough. But then, to be honest with you, things I prayed about it. I'm a big believer, and
absolutely.
I left there Friday. Said, look, guys, thank you so much for the opportunity, but I'm gonna have to try this out.
Yeah.
And I left there, and I swear to you, that weekend, a friend of mine who we actually both know, I was sitting there afterwards,
Yeah,
but we both know, came to me and was like, look, we have to sell our house.
Yeah.
Can you help us out?
Sure.
That was that weekend.
Yeah.
We
You
sold
see
it in
how it
24
works?
hours.
You see how it works?
In 24 hours, we
Yeah.
sold it. So Saturday, I listed it. Sunday.
And at this point, are you a licensed agent?
I'm an
with
agent,
Wild?
yes. So
Got
so
it.
when I left TD, I was a licensed
got your
agent.
license
So
already.
when I got my license, technically speaking, in November or December 2011.
Got it.
2011, sorry. 2011. And then I left TD January 2012. I was fully licensed.
So that year,
left
no deal yet, but
Nothing.
you're licensed.
Yes.
Got
But it was at the beginning, at the end of the year. So it's 2011, November, December.
Got it.
So I really count this January 1st, 2012 as my first year in real estate.
Yeah.
But anyways, I left there. I was already licensed, and I just kept going. Just let's struggle. Let's go. Here's how I know you have other questions, but I have to just fill you in.
We got time.
Fill you in. The first year, everybody's giving me business.
Really?
And we're gonna probably talk about that. But the first year, everybody's like, "Hey, I want to help you out.
Yeah.
You left your job. I'm so proud of you. Let me give you from church, from family members,
Everybody.
different. Buddy, it was great.
Yeah.
I did better in my first year than I did at my previous year with
Right,
TD.
right.
So I'm like, oh, this is gonna be easy,
Yeah, I could do this every year.
brother. Did no work that first year in terms of lead generating.
Right.
I just expected that the business is always gonna come to me, bro. The second year, I did not even a quarter of what I did the previous year.
Crazy. Now, I'm sure you're a smart guy. That's a lot of commissions you've accumulated over the years, over that period. I'm sure you put some away. Wifey's not letting you spend that.
No, when that first year?
Yeah, that year.
No, I wasn't.
Booming.
No, and it wasn't even booming. To be honest, looking back, it wasn't booming, but it was better than the previous. No, the money was gone. Everything was just. I was 24, 25 years old at the time. No, I was not putting money aside. I thought that this is how the business is always just going to be coming in. That cash flow, bro, every month, the cash flow is just going to be pouring in. No, bro. That second year was rough. I left. I think I had a couple months where I was like, stepped away, longer than a couple months, stepped away for a few months. The second half of that year, where I'm just like, I'm not doing this anymore. I worked with my uncle. My uncle owns a bunch of restaurants, Ritz, Caribbean Foods. He owns a bunch of restaurants at the time. So I would help him out with his business in terms of marketing and all that kind of stuff. And I literally, that year, was like, I'm not doing this. I'm just going to leave.
Yeah.
And again, mentors, we're going to talk about that because they're key. They're like, look, did you really work? And I had to tell them, like,
Not really.
No, everybody was. They're like, well, did you do any lead generating? Did you door knock? Did you call anybody?
You're just expecting it to happen.
That they're just falling in your lap.
Yeah.
And I think most people in this business think that that's how it works, and it doesn't, bro. If you sit around thinking that people are just gonna call you up, and you don't have to go out there and actively get business, you'll have good months or maybe a good year. Yeah. But overall, you'll be crying.
And you've learned those lessons over the years.
Earlier, brother.
Right. So it's. Fast forward a bit to, even last year where, some would say it was the toughest years in real estate. You still walked away with awards. You still did
better than my previous year. So I also had to work like 3 times harder.
Right.
So even though I did better last year than I did the previous year, which is in the hardest years, like the last 2 years have been one of easily the hardest 2 years they would say in the past 20 plus years in real estate. But again, I just knew that I just had to work harder. That's
and
it.
what does that look like, working harder? What does that look like?
So that's more phone calls. That's more events. That's being in people's face, to be honest with you. So whether it's on social media, whether it's calling my past clients, center of influence, that is door knocking, that's open houses, that is we tried everything, bro. We just did anything to get in people's face. Yeah. Constantly calling them, having conversations.
You have a great pie empire.
Yeah, so the pie empire.
every year.
Even that, so that we did double that year more than we served or we gave out. I think.
So what is this pie empire I'm talking about?
Yeah, anyway, so we do pie deliveries for Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving, we got an idea from our broker. Somebody was doing pumpkins. They were giving out pumpkins to their clients. So we decided to do pumpkin pies because, to be honest, our people are not really like doing carving pumpkin. I don't know that many people doing that, to be honest.
They'll crush a pumpkin pie.
Correct. Right. So we did the pumpkin pie. Again, we have a mutual friend that helped me out with the marketing of it. We made it a whole funny thing. Yeah. And it works. And it works 100%. So we handed out more pies than we did last year than ever before. Yeah. And we're gonna probably double it again this year.
Crazy.
So yeah, it's just more of lead generation.
More.
100%.
Okay. Let's talk about mentorship, right? So the importance of having a mentor at the early stages, so maybe you wouldn't have, spent everything at once, or bumped your head, or took your foot off the gas in terms of generating leads for yourself. Talk to me about how do you go about finding the right mentor for you? What are you looking for in a good mentor?
I try to pick somebody that I want to be like,
Yeah.
maybe 10 years down the road. So they're like 10 years, and it doesn't have to be by age, just even by business. So maybe their business is like, it's going to take me 5 or 10 years to get to that point.
Yeah.
But I have mentors in every aspect of my life. And in terms of how to find them, like in our business, coaching is a great way. If you can't have anybody that you could tap on their shoulders in your brokerage, then I would highly recommend coaching, because coaching will automatically put you in front of or with somebody that should have been qualified. They do this night and day. They're making X amount of dollars in sales and the whole nine. So coaching, if you can't have somebody in your brokerage, luckily we have a lot of guys. Like, we're very blessed in our brokerage. You are connected heavily, even with like the top team in our brokerage, right? So we have great mentors that we can kind of ask, lean on, and they're completely open. There's no gate. So we're in a great brokerage because there's no gatekeeping, bro. Like, literally everybody, if you go around, and I'm not trying to make this like a sales place for Royal LePage Signature, but to be honest with you, there's teams that are making millions and millions of dollars,
1,000%.
and if you knock on their door, they will be happy. Completely
Funny
open.
thing about that, it's the guys and gals that make the most money, they usually want to give back some sort of information to the next guy.
100%.
Right? So being afraid to ask, you're doing yourself a
100%.
disservice, right? So it's just one of those things.
And that's exactly it. And then I take it now for me, like, I'm like, if there's anybody that wants to know anything from me, which I feel like I'm nowhere, to be honest with you. Genuinely, I really don't feel like
which is humbling, but
I'm completely open, because I know that there's others that are higher than me that are willing to open their doors for me as well. So I think that's a big thing. If you can't get it through coaching, then you tap somebody on their shoulder from your brokerage. If it's, again, I have coaches in for spiritually and even marriage wise. Like, we have different mentors that we have in our life that can walk us through it. So
right. You're a Scarborough kid.
Through and through, bro. But you want to know what's funny? It's controversial, because I was born in Finch.
Sure.
Raised in Deerfoot.
Right.
And then from grade 5 to now,
the grade 5 and on, that's when you're developing, right?
Correct. So because I did a little bit of elementary and middle school in Scarborough, I rep Scarborough 100%.
Right. So you're a Scarborough guy, right? Naturally, people in Scarborough, mom gets the house, they move a little more east. You're now in the Durham region. That's usually where you're servicing right now. Are you working around, the west side as well, the Bramptons and Saugas? You'll take it if it comes, but you're farming. You're farming the Durham region. Why do you feel like Durham region is the place that you want to?
Durham is. I love Durham, to be honest with you. And you're right. Most people, if not everybody, from Scarborough, they migrate east. Yeah. So the same thing is when we're like, if you live in Finch or you live in North York, you migrate
west,
Mississauga, Brampton, those areas. So no, Durham is easily, like, hands down, the most affordable region in the GTA. So that alone today, that alone. So if you look at Mississauga, you look at the average price in Oakville and Markham, York region, Toronto, we are still the most affordable region. So, which, even though we're in like somewhat what we call a buyer's market, Durham is still kind of holding its own in terms of like low months of inventory. You still have a lot of people that are looking in that area. Still very hard to find properties because there's still multiple offers in that area as well. I love Durham just for that. So there's obviously the fact that it's affordable, and just the vibe. Like, it depends on where you are. Like, obviously you could be in Pickering, you could be in Ajax, Whitby. You're in Durham too, right?
Yeah, I'm in Ajax.
Yeah, you are. Yes.
So I again, Scarborough raised and migrated over to Ajax.
Ajax is pretty
Pickering,
much
Whitby,
East Scarborough.
My point nowadays for sure, right? And I like the piece of it because again, moving from Scarborough to the suburbs, as they
you don't want the
rah-rah. I don't want the rah-rah. We're growing up right now.
We're older now, man.
I'm trying to make the money work for us nowadays, right? So investing in Durham, you think it's a wise decision?
Yeah.
There's a lot happening right now.
Yeah, like so part of it is exactly that. Like, how could you find a property that's affordable, that you can rent out and it's going to be covering itself? Like right now, it's very difficult, if not, I want to say impossible. It's very difficult to get cash flow positive
property.
cash flow properties right now
Yeah.
in the GTA, really, especially not in Toronto, unless you're putting down a lot more as your down payment. But
Right.
if you're looking at your standard 20%, it's very difficult. But you can still find that in Oshawa, you can find that in Bowmanville, you can find that in Curtis, you can find that
a little more east.
Yeah, a little bit more east. You can still find it in Whitby in certain pockets as well. We do tend to focus, like for our investors, we tell them to look for 2-unit properties or units or homes that could be converted into a second unit downstairs in the basement,
Right.
or even vertical splits, which, I mean, depending on the layout, you can even do a vertical split where, you know, if you have a bungalow, you can literally split it down the middle.
Yeah, 1, 2.
Exactly, depending on your layout.
Right.
I purchased a vertical split.
And I want to talk about that. You have a few properties under your belt right now.
Yeah,
as
we had a vertical split duplex.
What was the first? Hold on. What was the first property you ever purchased?
The vertical duplex.
Okay, gotcha.
That was I regret getting rid of it, but anyway.
Talk to me about it.
Yeah. That was rough. We had a vertical duplex and
Purchased when?
So vertical. So think about it. It's a 2-story property,
Yeah.
and it was split not equally down the middle. It was kind of like a little bit more on our side, but then we also rented. So we rented the other side of it, and the other side was like on top of the garage and behind it. That was a unit.
Right.
So when you look at it, it just looks like a regular home, but it was actually split down the middle. But then not only that, it also had a separate entrance to the basement. So I turned the basement into an apartment downstairs as well. So we had, looking back, bro, I would have never moved. I would have literally kept that forever.
You went to the basement.
Oh my goodness.
I'd have moved to the basement.
No, but even living in the main part, we were they were paying our mortgage.
Yes.
So our mortgage at the time, this is a house that we bought back then for $440,000.
My point exactly. So I want to talk about that, right? Because you're not finding that today.
No, dude.
That's not happening. Those days are
gone. We talk about it to this day. We're just like, and it's funny because there's a rule of thumb in this brokerage that the higher ups, that, like, you know, Chris and the owners of the brokerage, they say we are not sellers.
Sellers, yeah.
We're only buyers.
Only buyers.
And I heard that.
Too late.
No, I heard it. No, see, this is the next thing in terms of I need to listen. I heard it and I ignored it. I heard what he said, and he's like, we're not sellers. Yeah. He's like, the Slavin family, we do not sell properties. We only
purchase,
buy.
They acquire.
We only acquire. That's it. And I understood it afterwards, where I'm just like, dude, that house, the same place, we got a record breaking at the time price for it. But I swear to you, like 3 to 4 months later, it went up $200,000. $200,000.
You guys got rid of it.
So, tax-free principal residence dollars.
Why didn't you keep it? No, that's too personal.
No,
because personal question. But yeah, why didn't you keep it?
So at the time, we're going through different things financially, and it was rough at the time. So we were like looking back, could we have handled it? Yes, we could have muscled through it. Yeah. But at the time, it felt like, oh, it's not gonna work. It's better for us to just cut our losses. Let's just go sell it, still get a good price for it, and then buy something else. And we did, but if I waited a little bit, and the whole thought, we wanted to get something new construction as well. Sure. And the house was a little bit older, but if I waited a few more years, I could have refied it. Right. Still got that money to go buy the other one.
That's my point. Yeah. Right. So were you at the time educated on, everybody talks about house hacking or, renting out the properties, refinancing, and then purchasing that forever home later on, right? Was that part of the train of thought at that point?
It was, but I'm realizing.
Why don't you guys just rent it out and go rent somewhere else?
Yeah, the thought process I'm realizing is don't make decisions when you're in like those positions where when you're in fire, pretty much. It's better to just not sit in fire, but it's better to just relax and ask yourself, would I make the same decision if everything was rosy?
Yeah. Probably not.
No, I wouldn't. Like if everything wasn't the way it was at the time, would I have sold it? Yeah. No, I would have kept it. So now even whenever there's hardships or whenever there's situations,
just take the time.
I literally sit back and say, okay, if everything is great, would I still do this? Yeah. And if I'm not willing to do that, then I'm willing to muscle through it. So that's what I learned. Everything is learning experiences, right? I learned a lot from that situation and realized that, you know what, if I could just get through this time, let me make that decision when I can sit back and everything's okay. Yeah. And if I'm still willing to make it, then I'll make it. But if I'm not, then I'm not going to do it.
You're level-headed at that point.
100%.
Yeah.
So that's and I know there's a lot of people especially now because mortgages a lot of people are renewing. Yeah. Those people that were on 1.5. I had a mortgage
guy on last week, and he was just talking about all the horror stories that are happening.
It's rough right now.
Yeah, it's rough.
So I know there's a lot of people that are in positions like that where they were looking to make quick decisions. Yeah. I just ask, if you're able to muscle it, and I'm literally talking to my clients right now. Yeah. I had a conversation just yesterday with a client where she's like, she's like, look, I want to sell my investment. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, are you struggling? And she's like, not really. I can get through it. Yeah. I'm like, is it covering
itself? A couple more years of this?
And she's like, yeah. I'm like, don't sell it.
Yeah.
And as agents, that's our job. Our job is to be advisors, and you
Yeah.
know that we get paid when we sell.
Absolutely.
So they're gonna trust you even more. The fact that you're gonna tell them not to sell.
Right.
Right.
Because I'm not looking for the money. I want you to make the right decision for you.
That whole thought process of looking for the money, it doesn't work in your favor.
Yeah.
Get yourself out of it and say, what would I do in this situation? If I'm okay, again, I said this exact same conversation to her.
Yeah.
I said the same thing where I'm like, if you're okay, would you sell this? Like, if and you could maybe get more, 100 grand, 200 grand more in a couple years. Are you okay to keep it? And she's like, yes.
Keep it.
I'm like, keep the property.
Yeah.
We'll talk about this.
We'll
I'll
talk
keep you up to date. I'll give you an update next year. We'll see.
Yeah.
If next year is still kind of wonky and it's not really working in your favor, then we just keep it. If it's covering something, you're good.
Right.
So yeah.
All right. So that's that.
Then
that's the first one. So you make some moves after that. You know, recently you purchased, right? Are you picking up some properties?
Yeah. So we're
getting in the game now.
You want to know? Yeah. So even our most recent one that we were able to do was we did new construction, which normally we do resale, but we didn't.
Like I love these conversations. I love us getting things and like acquiring.
Yeah,
right?
we did new construction, and it's funny because a lot of people will say new construction in this market. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
You wouldn't do that. But right now, to be honest with you, the incentives that you're getting are through the roof. But not only that, if you look at it right now, this year we're gonna complete around 25 to 29,000 new units this year. So new units are going to be coming, new inventory. Yeah. Anywhere from 25 to 29,000 new properties.
Are townhomes or these are condos?
These are new construction, mainly condos.
Got it.
Mainly condos that are coming to market in 2025. Right. Last year was our record, which I think was like around 24,000 units that came to the market. This year we're going to break that. Right. So all these people that like part of what the issue that we're going through right now with new construction, I know we're kind of all over the place. But
that's good.
Part of the issue with new construction is all these new completions are coming to market, which is causing these projects that are currently on the market right now to say, hey, whoa, we're going to pause, we're going to wait. But if they wait for a year or two, which they have been, but not only that, in 4 years, where are those new completions coming? Right. Because all the completions that are happening right now sold in 2020, 2021.
Yeah. And they're finally done 5 years later.
Correct. Right. So they're now done. But then if we're not selling any units right now, or building any units, then we're going to have a shortage in 2028, 2029.
Good or bad?
Good or bad. So I think for me, if you're buying right now, you're going to be the only one that's going to be completing in 28, 29. So that means, in theory, you should have less competition.
You should be out on top more so than
when everybody's selling. It's a Warren Buffett. When everybody's selling, that's when you should buy. When everybody's buying, that's when you should be selling. So nobody's buying right now.
Yeah, you're getting incentives. You're getting some deals right now. You're shopping around. Now, question for you, and a lot of noise out there in terms of are you able to, as a buyer agent representing yourself, do you get commission on that as well?
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
Yeah. That's the whole point. No.
Of course.
Sorry. Yes. 100%. Yes.
Right.
Especially with new construction, you're getting anywhere from 4 to 5%.
So you're kind of one pocket to the other pocket kind of thing, in that sense, because you come to the table with your deposits and your money up front, but on the back end you're getting paid for this deal as well.
So again, mentors come into play. They told me that this is how they build their portfolio. Like over the years, they just bought new construction because they're also getting a discount technically through their commission. Yes. Sometimes there's some builders that, depending on how many people you bring to them, you could get even less. You can get your commission will increase. Right. So if you do like 3 or 4 deals,
I've seen it.
Right. So no, for sure. No, the thought process as agents, we definitely should be investing, and whether you're doing resale or new construction, you're also getting the commission on that. Right. And normally your brokerage will work something out with you.
Getting paid to buy properties.
So this is where my mind is. So even in a rough market, I mean, if you obviously have to go through the numbers and make sure things make sense. Sure. But it's almost like you're always getting a discount.
100%. Yeah. Now, would you recommend, with that theory, someone looking to purchase in the next couple of years with their fiance or by themselves, whatever the case is, would you recommend, whether they're going to be practicing or not, everybody get their real estate license? Like everybody should have. I feel anyways.
Interesting. I never thought about that. Like as in so you're saying
just to hold it.
The whole family?
I think someone should get a real estate license.
Someone in the family.
Someone in the family.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Right? If you're able to. I just know it's not as there was a time when there was only 3 courses.
It's not that hard now.
So I don't know. Like I don't know how.
It's not crazy.
Got you.
But it's not 5 years university type.
Why not?
You know what I mean?
Why not then?
Why not? Why not? Unless the job or the TD is telling you can't do it.
Correct. Right. Yeah, and then it's tough because here's the thing. I say that, yes, but then it's as an agent that's been in the market, in the business for 13 years, you do go up against, I'm talking to you, you're my client, and
Right.
you have a cousin that's in the business.
Touche.
Your cousin that's in the business that's been doing this part-time, one
For
deal a
6
year.
yeah.
We are not the same, bro.
Facts.
So,
true.
but in your mind, you're gonna want to look out for your cousin as well.
Yeah, so the
But-
family get money.
Correct, which I
Right.
get. The only problem is that
Communities do this all the time.
I get it completely.
Right.
My challenge with that is that your cousin's not going to be able to give this the same type of service that I
100%.
would be. Like the experience. We get experience from doing the reps, right?
Yeah.
So we learn literally on the spot, day in and day out.
Yeah.
As time goes on, whether things work, whether pricing works, what's happening, what's not, what's working, what's not working. We're learning that by getting the reps in. If that person's only doing it once a year, how could they give you advice?
I hear you.
So that's my
I
only
just feel
challenge.
like people should have multiple things going on.
And
This
that's
is my
fair.
sentiment.
And that's fair.
all.
If they're doing it for themselves, I'm
Yeah.
completely okay with that.
Yeah.
I just, I'm just speaking from an agent that's been doing it for a number of years. You
For sure.
always, you're gonna have that. We shouldn't be competing with someone that's been in a year. Like, we're not.
100%.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you always see that, the family member gets it.
Right.
Sometimes, right?
And I say, and you know what? Let me back up because I say that, and sometimes the agents that have been in the business for years on end
they don't
suck.
do it either. Right?
And that person that's been in the business for 1 year is
My
better.
point, exactly.
So it comes down to work. I think if that person is working and they're grinding,
Yeah.
then yes, give them the business for sure. Because that's how I got my start, right? All those
100%.
people, they're our first
They
year.
gave it to the cousins.
They
to
gave
the
it to
uncle.
me,
Yeah, right.
and they gave me the reps, which is
Right.
fine. So
You
I
get
just don't
it.
like the part-time side. The part-time, once in a blue moon, you could be in your first year, but if you're hustling, you're grinding, and you're
Yeah,
getting the reps in,
Sure.
but like if you're just doing it for
Just to have it. Just say I'm a realtor.
if you're doing it for yourself or for
Sure.
your family member, sure.
I'm just saying, you're getting deals on real estate, and you
It's
get to help out your family and friends. I
This
feel
is
like everybody should hold multiple licenses if they can.
Yeah, that's
But
fair.
anyways, moving on.
Very fair.
Right? You're a man of faith right now. You're heavy in your faith every day, right? That is something that drives you as well. You're on a challenge right now. You're very structured guy. You're a very structured guy. Or you're trying to be.
I try to be, brother.
We're
And
all trying to be.
I'm an extremist though.
Right.
So I'm more than one side of it. Like it's either if I'm doing something, I'm going to go in.
Straight.
But if I'm on the other side of it, I'm also
Right.
Yeah.
So talk to me about your routine, your daily routine when you get up.
gosh.
Fitness obviously heavy on the church family man.
Yeah.
Is that just part of your day now? Is that
So-
how you kind of function?
If I had to set my day, if I had my perfect day, I'm getting up around 4:45, 4:30, 4:45
What?
in the morning. I was getting up at 3:45 at one point, but
No,
I don't know
sir.
how it's very hard to sustain that. So 4:45 on a perfect day,
Yeah.
4:45, I'm outside walking at 5 a.m. and I walk for 4 to 5 kilometers,
Yeah.
45 to 50
Were you just walking,
minutes.
you jogging, a little
I'm
scurry,
walking, a fast walk.
a little pace.
Yeah, it's a good pace.
Yeah.
I'm walking and I'm listening. Usually, I'm listening to like the Bible app,
Yeah.
the Bible in 1 year. So I'm listening
Yeah,
to scriptures and a whole
Got it.
nine. And it's just my time to just settle and focus. I do a prayer. I think about what I'm gonna do for the day.
Right.
I get home, and once I get home, right now because I'm doing a 75 hard. I'm
Yeah.
reading, so I'll read 10 pages a day.
Got it.
So I'm home by so that's for 5 to 6. I read from 6 to 6:30.
Jeez.
And then I will normally, eat breakfast, get a shake, whatever
Yeah,
it case
yeah.
be, something light, and then get ready, get the kid up,
Yeah.
get him ready, the whole
Yeah.
nine. I'm out of the door by around 8. Drop him off, and then I'm usually try to get to the office around 9:30.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, I will see you one of the
Yeah.
first guys here, man.
yeah. And then once you do that, then you're lead generating, bro.
Yeah.
From 9 to 9:30, you're lead
All day
generating.
long.
At least for the morning. I try to cater the morning up to 12:30
Mm-hmm.
to calling clients, social media, doing stuff like this, podcasts,
Right.
interview, whether I'm making my
Right.
own content or if I'm doing
Filling your
podcasts.
day with
Filling my day,
productive.
yeah, 100%, and I'm using that time to actually outreach, speak to people, if I can, in the nicer weather, I'm going to be door knocking, those
Right.
kind of things. So just be in front of people, at least contact at least 5 people that I'm speaking with a day from my database.
Yeah.
And then all the other stuff, lead follow-up, emails, and then we try to do appointments in the afternoon.
Got it. If you weren't doing real estate, what would you be doing? I know
Bro,
you're a
I don't know,
salesman.
bro.
I know you're a
I don't
salesman
know,
at
dog.
heart.
No, real talk, I
But,
don't
like,
know. Bro, because I've been doing this
I
since
know.
20, it's been 20,
Yeah,
since
but are
25.
you gonna do this until 65?
Yeah,
I
bro.
know there's some agents out here that do this until they don't want to retire. There's
I-
no retirement plan here.
I don't have a retirement plan.
Right.
I don't. If I had to picture the best case scenario is I'm older, My wife and I, we have a place maybe in Yad in Jamaica,
Hell yeah.
and we're going back and forth between here and Jamaica. But we have a team. I have a team that's running the business on a consistent basis, and I just do content. I do content similar to like a Jack. Like, do content.
Yeah.
I'll do some appointments and all that, but for the most part, like I'm saying, years from now, we have a team that's running the business.
Do you have any aspirations of like being the figure, doing speaking gigs and getting out there and teaching?
A little bit
more of a teaching.
No, I love it, bro. I love people.
Because you're great at this.
I appreciate that, brother. I love people. I love speaking. I'm learning to speak because even like I'm learning more and more how to do public speaking. So I would love to get into that. I would love to get into teaching for sure, 100%. Having conversations with people, whether it's real estate or life or physics, whatever the case would be. So yes, I would love to get into that. That's in the works. Yeah, that's in the works.
Got it. No, I always want to know, like, what do people? What's the plan after this?
But
but
if you make this life, if you create this the way you want it, it's not gonna feel like work, bro.
That's my point.
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to structure it so that I come in here and I don't feel like I'm working. Like, but I'm still making money. We're still hustling. We're still doing things, but it doesn't feel like work.
You're growing a team right now, right? I'm guessing you've been kind of solo for your majority of your career.
It's different.
Right? So like, why the solo route and why the team route now? Obviously, you kind of answered that a bit. You want to build a team out so that you can kind of not disconnect, but remove yourself from being, in the business and kind of work on the business, right? So, team, like, why the team now, or why did you work solo for so many years? Why didn't you join a team?
That's a good question. That's all great questions. So why didn't I join a team? I don't know, to be honest with you. I think I would have joined a team in my first couple of years. I should have. I would have done that or coaching. I think one of the two, because that's how you gain a mentor, right? 100%. Either you're going to be on a team they're showing you the ropes, they're showing you how the business works. You're working their clients, they're going to show you the goods and the bads and the ugly, or get a coach. So I probably would have done the team. Now, why am I'm realizing that in order for me to grow, I need to have people. I need to be able to leverage people, right? So right now I have a team
respectfully,
member.
obviously.
Yeah, 100%. And
we all use each other.
Yeah, for sure.
In a good way.
No, in a great way, for sure. No, the team member I have right now, Michelle. She's amazing. She's been with me for a year, bro. I now see how fast things can grow.
Because you have multiple people.
Because she can focus on the things that we need to focus on. That she needs to focus on, and then I focus on what I need to focus on.
Yeah.
So how we structure it now is I'm trying to focus solely on lead generating, and then for her, I want to focus on she'll focus on administration. Yeah. So administrative work. She'll focus on even operations because she's a realtor. She's been a realtor for 10 years.
Right.
So I'm realizing
that's a good link.
100% because she can focus. She can do everything that I can do.
And you have to teach. You guys are
she
collaborating.
Can do she came from a team previously, a great team.
Yeah.
So she came with great systems already.
Got it.
So when she came, she's actually showing me some stuff that we could do better.
Yeah.
Which was nice. Oh, bro.
Yeah. You've had some assistants in the past that didn't work out.
It didn't work out, as you know, right? And nothing against them, but it's just
sure.
I didn't have. You have to invest your time in.
Yeah.
And I'm still investing my time with Michelle, but she knows the business.
She gets it already.
100%. So we're investing we're tweaking, fine-tuning our systems rather than starting from scratch.
Yeah. So what's the vision for this year? What are we kind of focusing on this year?
We want to double our business this year, which everybody
says
that.
Easier said than done.
And we know that we're gonna have to do, and it's a lot more on me because I know that we need more leads.
Sure.
So now for me, it's lead generating. I need to focus on that. I would love to. I have a connectivity chart, what we call like a connectivity chart, which is different things that we do for our clients every month. So like we have a home show, we have events where there's parties, Mother's Day things, all that kind of stuff. So I want to just
things, man.
Pretty much, to be honest with you, the answer to your question is just to execute. We already have a plan. We have it set. We want to double our business, so we're just doubling our execution and our efforts. Exactly that.
I wanted to talk about, before I know you got to go soon, Ben, but you have a property that you just listed the other day.
Yeah.
You have a few properties off the top. It's 2 months in the year, bro, and you're going. I love it.
I want to tell you how this business works.
Go.
So we had a bunch of these. The way the real estate works is clumpy, as what they would say. Again, the owners and the management team, they call the business clumpy. Bro, for the past couple months, nothing.
Yeah.
We had business, but nothing was actually closing. Yeah. And then last weekend, it just happens that way. You can't be discouraged. You kind of have to just keep going and just
have faith that it's coming.
That's it, and just know that that's how the business works. But yes, we have.
Yeah, I want to pull up this property. You just listed it 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Right. So this is in 1.5 mil. We won't even talk about numbers right now, but this is where? This is in
So this is in Legacy in Markham.
Markham.
So this is close to where Box Grove is.
Yeah.
Beautiful,
It's a
beautiful
4-bed.
property. 4-bedroom it also has a beautiful sunroom. It's 2,000. It's really around 2,300 square feet, not including the sunroom. They've recently renovated it, so they just did all this over COVID, and it looks stunning. They renovated it for them to stay. It's only because they want to, things are kind of moving to Toronto while they're leaving. But for the most part, all these renovations were done for them to enjoy this home for the rest of their life, essentially.
Right.
But it's a beautiful neighborhood, beautiful home. They've been there for about 10 plus years, and it is stunning. 4 bedrooms, finished basement. Everything is done in that house. You don't have to do anything.
This is going for $1.5 million,
Big
guys.
money, that's Markham, bro.
What are we talking about?
That's Markham.
How? That is Markham.
So
and that's to your point of affordability.
So right, you go to York Region. This is nothing. 1.535 for this. This is nothing in Markham. Nothing.
All right. So how much money do I need to purchase something like? What's the structure to even I submit a deal or I submit an offer to you. What are you looking for as a listing agent on something like this? Like to even bring this to your client?
Yeah, interesting. That's good. So they're going to be looking at the price, which is a given.
Sure.
Outside of the price, they're looking at the deposit. Is the deposit at least 5%?
Yeah. Can you do 5% on this?
Well, no, the deposit 5%.
Oh.
So not your down payment. The deposit is included in your down payment.
Got it.
But the deposit is what we hold as a brokerage to say that you in good faith, and it goes towards your down payment essentially. Right. But our brokerage holds that, and it's only because if you were to walk away, the seller or the buyer would decide that they don't want to close on the property.
Yeah.
That they risk losing their deposit essentially. So 5% deposit is what we look for. We also look for closing date. These guys are very flexible.
So 5% of that is $76,000.
So that will be the deposit. You would probably need
70. I'm rounding up, so let's call it $77,000.
Yeah, and if this sells for, which it should sell north of 1.5, you're going to need at least 20%.
You're right. So
in total, so
20% so call it 20% of this. Of 1.5, 35 times 20%.
Is how much?
It's $307,000 I gotta
money.
have in the bank under the mattress.
Under the mattress, exactly. So most people that are buying this home are going to be move-ups. They're going to be people that had a home for years on end, and they're now selling that house, and they're not just having that money in their pocket or in their mattress. They're taking the money out. They're taking the money out of their current home.
Right.
The equity and the profits that they got, and if it's a principal residence, that means they don't have to pay any taxes.
Beautiful.
So they take that full amount and they bring it over to buy their new property.
So I need 300 bands to get this.
Yeah, and not only that, you're gonna also need land transfer tax.
Yeah.
Which is not gonna be cheap.
Yeah.
But then those are the two expenses.
But again, there's a specific kind of client for this kind of property.
Yeah.
This is not for everybody.
No.
It's not for the first time home buyer unless you got the bag. And God bless you if you do.
Correct.
But this is for somebody that's either savvy in investing. Are they looking to? This is not a rental.
Not really.
You don't buy this to rent.
No, I've had.
This is too beautiful.
It's really nice. So we had situations where we had people in our open house that people would come and say like, can we do the basement and all that kind of stuff? Yeah, but you're gonna have to put like a separate entrance and a whole nine if you were to do so. Most of the time, it's gonna be an end user. Somebody that's buying this is gonna be their principal residence.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're pulling out of hopefully something else.
Correct.
And hopefully they have half
it.
of it.
Listen, if you are looking in York Region, looking in Markham, you're gonna be in this price point. Right. If you're gonna look for a double car garage,
and then you see the numbers. So this is regular.
Yes.
These are the regular prices.
Regular prices for a detached home in this size, 4 bedrooms in Markham.
Gotta get our money up there, guys.
But this same home in Durham, let's call it Whitby or Ajax, is gonna be like what 1, 2, 1, 3?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a lot less. Maybe not that low. Probably it'll be north of a mil, but 1, 1, 1, 2.
Yeah, 4 bed.
Yeah, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2.
Yeah.
Big difference, bro, from 1, 5.
Now, are you in your forever home right now, or are you guys looking?
No, we are. That's a good question. So the biggest questions that we have with people right now is, if you're looking to do a move up, now is the time.
Yeah.
Because yes, your home is not going to be selling for the same prices back in 2022, but the house that you're going to buy also came down, and usually more than what your home would have come down. So you're going to be benefiting on the purchase more than on the sale of your home. So we're looking at we talk to people all the time. Is this a time to do a move up? I'm not in a forever home, but I'm not really caring for the home. I'd rather collect more properties, to be honest with you.
My point, right?
Yeah, like,
I want to. You know what I want? I want a tiny home. I want a couple tiny homes. I just want to get land somewhere
And what,
put
just
a couple-
Airbnb them?
and just Airbnb them or whatever. I don't know
Yeah.
the laws right now in terms of Airbnb. They're forever changing.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
my goal is to get some land and put some homes on it like Boosie.
Yeah. That's like
Boosie, real, because he's doing it the way I want to do it.
Yeah,
but,
bro. I don't. There was a time when I wanted to. I was thinking about the big extravagant home, principal residence. I really don't care.
I don't want it.
I don't know why.
I'd rather a small home on a big property. To be honest.
And then just have a bunch of I'd rather own properties all over the place.
So that's your motivation right now. You're trying to acquire some more.
Now
some more doors.
My mind is thinking that way. So I'm trying to figure out how can we acquire more doors that can cover itself.
Sure.
Cash flow positive.
Sure.
Even if it's
don't get yourself in no problems.
No, and that's where a lot of people are in right now.
Yeah.
Investor wise, that are coming out of pocket. I'd rather not. I'd rather be at least cash flow neutral.
Yeah.
A couple $100 out of pocket is not the end of the world.
Right.
But that's what we're looking for. We're trying to look for
internationally. You doing anything?
I'm open to that as well, brother. Yeah, I am. I'm open to
that's
the
most
US.
like our parents come down here to buy the homes and then go back home too.
I'm
right?
open to it. I'm open
yeah.
to US. I'm open to Jamaica. I'm open to we're entertaining other islands in the Caribbean as well.
Yeah.
Just wherever the opportunities are, and you just Airbnb them.
Yeah, that's my point, right? Tristan, man, I could sit here all day and just chop it up.
I don't even know how long we were talking, bro.
About an hour, brother. But
stop this, are you?
Leave the guys with something. It's just a tip. The guys that are looking to get into the market in the next year. They're saving up right now. Maybe they're renting. Whether it's a good time or not. Give me a tip or a piece of advice for the guys and girls that are looking to make a move in the next couple of.
I would say now is the best time to do it. I've yet to see a market better than now, to be honest with you, for buyers.
Yeah.
So if you're a buyer and you're thinking about whether it's a move up or if you're thinking about buying your first home, do it now. The prices are a lot lower than we've seen in years. The interest rates are coming down. They're probably going to continue to come down a little bit.
Yeah.
So you're kind of getting the best of both worlds. Usually when prices drop significantly, you don't usually get both.
Right.
It's either you have high interest rates or you have a low prices, right? So you kind of want to take advantage of this market right now. I think for buyers, take advantage of the fact that the prices are low and the interest rates have come down quite a bit. And if you are a seller and if you don't have to sell, just wait a bit.
Yeah.
To be honest with
just
you,
wait
it out. Things are going to change. Prices are going to come back eventually. Hence why I'm telling the buyers to do it now rather than waiting.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my advice. I'll get to both buyers and sellers.
Well, you got it from Tristian himself, man. I appreciate you. They could all join you online. Tristian Clunis.
Yes, sir.
At Tristian Clunis. You guys go see my guy, man. He's not shy at all, bro.
I want to say I appreciate what you're doing, by the way, because you're not new to this. I know this podcast is new, but you're not new. This guy's not new to real estate. He's been involved in real estate for years. So even though this podcast may be somewhat new, I think you're a year or two in?
Yeah, maybe a year.
Yeah. And there's a lot of knowledge. You need to be interviewed as well because there's a lot of knowledge and you've been working with, the top teams in this country, to be honest with you, in your business. So I applaud what you're doing. And I know that you're extremely knowledgeable and experienced in this business. So
again, to your point earlier when you said there's always somebody above. And I'm always in the position of I just want to learn. I just want to pick brains. Pause. I just want to figure out exactly how did you do it. What to stay away from and how to navigate throughout this.
And you're humble. And you're humble with it. But I want to make sure that your audience knows that you do this as well. So let's make sure that's clear. You're not new to the scene, bro.
I'm not new to this. Until the next time, guys. I appreciate you joining us. Like, subscribe, comment, do all that stuff. Until next time. Peace.